Will AI take my job? It's a question a lot of people ask. In my last few videos, we've been talking quite a lot about how to make sure this never happens to you. Because yes, AI is great, but when we focus on our human skills, we realize there really is no replacement. But this wasn't the case for employees at Intuit. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but here's the article. Layoffs have been in the news a lot, and this time it was at Intuit, and they laid off about 1,800 people. Over 50% of them, they said they laid off due to low performance. Now, let me just say that I think this is a really awful display of two really important human skills that go hand in hand: empathy and communication. It's okay if you want to make this decision, but doing it and kind of voicing it in that way I thought was so inappropriate, because just think about all those people who are now going to be looking for other jobs. But when people say that you came from there, all the headlines that they've been reading is about how you were an underperformer. So I just thought it was a very insensitive, really huge lack of empathy in how they went about communicating this. Now, they said a little over 1,000 of the employees received those layoff notices because they were not meeting expectations, according to the letter out by the CEO. Now, they also eliminated more than 300 roles across the company to what they said streamline operations and shift resources toward AI. They said that they were consolidating to sites where they are strategically growing their technology teams, and they list places like Atlanta, Bangalore in India, New York, Tel Aviv in Israel, and Toronto in Canada. And I thought this was another really important element to look at as well. The more comfortable people become with AI and with remote work, the people we hire are really no longer limited to our proximity. And it's not really like that now either. You can get a job anywhere in the world. You can move and start a business anywhere in the world. We can reach talent anywhere we want, which means there's also a lot more competition. But you're here watching this video, and I'm going to share not only how you can think about AI skills and workflows, but also how to help visualize this in a quick graphic to share for yourself, but also with your team and your organization. Now, having worked at Apple, I am a really big believer in constantly showing your value and constantly being proactive and taking initiative. I believe that taking initiative is a game changer, and here's why. Because for anyone else who has been in corporate America, or if that's where you want to go, you know that they don't hand out promotions and stock incentives and benefits like candy on Halloween. You have to really be your own advocate. And this is a really big part of what we teach inside the AI Bootcamp to all of our students. Do not wait for things to happen to you. Be the one who makes things happen for you. Now, at Intuit, one of the things they may very quickly realize, only time will tell, is that the skills he thought were making them underperforming actually may have been really valuable, especially when thinking about AI. It's just that maybe he thought that AI could just replace those people and new things will come along. And so one of the things that becomes really important is being able to visualize what human and AI collaboration actually looks like, because AI tools cannot replace people who do great work. Now, one of the things that is clear is that clearly companies are looking for people with AI skills, and this demand is global and it's not going to slow down anytime soon. So today, I want to show you how you can identify opportunities to integrate AI into your workflows, whether it's for a group project or for a meeting or for launching a new business plan. AI can be a game changer, but the real impact happens when we learn how to integrate AI so that we can do things that previously were on our wish list that we never got to get to. Now, I'm going to do an example of working in a group project. Whether you are in the classroom or the corporate world, collaboration is not only one of the most important skills to learn, it's also one a lot of people don't do very well. And in a world with AI, it's not just humans that you have on the team now, you have AI tools on your team as well. So in this first example, you're going to see a couple of things. One, we're detailing out each step of the process. For each step, we are clearly showing whether it's AI doing the task, the human doing the task, or human and AI collaboration. And as the technology becomes more advanced, we may not lay out these workflows the same way we're doing in this moment. For example, today we don't say things like, I used a pencil, I used a laptop, I used a microphone, and things like that. But for right now, this visualization, I believe, is actually really important, because most people people, even though they say I'm using AI, don't always have that depth of clarity. And recently, Routers shared a really amazing study about the usage of ChatGPT around the world. It turns out frequent use of ChatGPT is pretty rare. 1% of people in Japan, 2% in France and the UK, and 7% here in the USA. So to say we are still early is kind of true when we think about AI integration into our workplaces. Now, many people who have used generative AI tools like ChatGPT have done so once or twice, but it hasn't become their common practice as part of their day-to-day. Why is this? Here is my hypothesis. A lot of times, the reason tools don't integrate fully into our day-to-day is because we're not making a strong enough connection. It's that classic, oh my God, I used this when it was great, but now I need to get back to doing this, this, and this. And so when we do not start with our problems and the opportunities we actually want to get help with, technology becomes this other thing over here. And this is the real work we are doing over here. And the key to successful integration, whether it's AI or any kind of technology, is merging those together to look at what is that valuable updated workflow going to look like. And that's what I'm so excited to share with you today. So back to our example, you can see here we're starting by taking an assessment of our human strengths. It's one of the biggest missed pieces of collaboration, and I always recommend starting with the Spark type. It's free and it is absolutely amazing. And if you want something more in depth, I then recommend taking the Clifton strands. I don't think they replace each other. I think they build on each other really nicely. And tools like this really help us build a strong culture of collaboration where we begin to know each other, we build trust amongst each other, we have empathy for one another. And then when we're working together, teamwork actually feels fun. So next, we're going to take those results and we are going to also take project guidelines, brief, directions, any information you have about your project, and upload both pieces of data into ChatGPT. And we're going to basically ask it now to create a set of roles, timelines, task breakdown, so that we can make sure we have enough time to be able to get our project done. This is where AI can play a huge role. Maybe someone has less time than others, but they still want to have the same amount of responsibility. Maybe even though the deadline is 3 weeks from now, 3 days before the deadline, there's a 4-day weekend, and we want to kind of have everything done so we can relax and enjoy our weekend. So we're actually going to plan for a 2-week timeline. There are so many life nuances, human nuances, that the more we're able to share about how and when we like to work, the more refined AI tools can help us design our project schedules and breakdown. From there, of course, you're going to want to review and refine the project timeline roles and everything your AI tool has mapped out. And again, that's your human oversight coming in to play a really important role. From there, each of the tasks are going to either be human and AI, or maybe AI. Say, for example, maybe there's some research that you need to do and share back with the team. So I might turn to a tool like Perplexity to get some sources and also have it help me organize all of my research together to share back with my team as well. Let's say from there we move into presentation prep. Again, it's going to be human and AI collaboration. Maybe I'm using Copilot and PowerPoint, or maybe I've created my own GPT, or I'm using Magic Write inside of Canva or Gamma to help me generate slides. Maybe I'm getting helped with writing up my script, like what am I going to be saying as I present, or what text should I put on my slide? No matter what it is, ultimately, that collaboration is really what allows you to accelerate the work it is you're doing, to really look for those meaningful places where you play a role, AI plays a role, but you're able to do things better together. And then, of course, when it comes time to delivering the final product, let's just say you've got to do a presentation now to the management team. That, of course, is you as a human really having to own that entire experience. Now, this kind of clarity, first of all, this is just one example, but this kind of clarity around workflow not only shows someone that you can't just replace a person with AI, but it also is so inspiring and helpful for people to see what human and AI collaboration actually looks like. So whether you're working on a group project, a personal task, or a professional project, these steps are going to help you get started in creating your own workflows. And of course, if you're interested, you can always join us inside my course, the AI Bootcamp. It's a self-paced course where we go into creating these in so much more depth, but we also give you a lot of personalized support. So I'm going to share with you a couple of steps. Do these and begin creating your own workflow. So step one is to identify what are the tasks and goals that you even need to get accomplished. You're going to break down the project into smaller, manageable tasks. You're going to ask yourself questions like, what are the key tasks that need to be completed? What is the ultimate goal of the project? Like, what results are you hoping to get out of this? And what are the deliverables and deadlines? Step 2, you want to find AI integration points. Next, you want to determine where AI can help streamline those tasks. So you're going to maybe think about things like which tasks are repetitive or really time consuming. Where do you need assistance with research or data analysis? Are there tasks that involve drafting, scheduling, or organizing? And remember, one of our favorite all-time prompts, if you don't know the answer to where AI can help, is to actually ask your AI tool. So you can actually say things like, I have this project, can you help me break it down into tasks and tell me what you can help with and what I should focus on? And then from there, once you have that initial list, you can review and refine the list, but it gives you a lot of ideas about where AI can help for things that maybe you hadn't considered, or areas where you're like, actually, no, I'll be the one taking care of that. Our next step is step 3, which is to create a visual workflow. You can use our template or create your own, but I will link one for you in the notes below. Next, you're going to want to map out this workflow visually, outline every single step of your project, where AI will be integrated, and you're going to want to use a simple kind of flowchart diagram, kind of like I did. And one of the most important things you're going to want to make sure to delineate is what the human is doing, what the AI is doing, and what both of you are doing together. And so when you highlight the flow of the project from start to finish, people get a really clear look at what is going on. Last but not least is step 4, where you are going to apply and iterate. You're going to want to apply your workflow to your project. And as you work through the tasks, observe how the AI tools are helping, where improvements can be made. You might want to ask yourself things like, did the AI really live up to actually doing this task if it was the only designation for that particular area? Were there areas in the workflow where you could have been more efficient? Were there areas where like, okay, I didn't really need to be involved, the AI could have really done this? Were there areas that you missed that you needed to add into your workflow so people can get more clarity? But the point is that this continuous improvement will help you get the most out of not just the AI tool, but also help you share the best workflows as well. If you do create one, I would love to see it. You can DM me or send me an email at saba@designingschools.org. And I really hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you have any topics or questions that you would like to see a video on, definitely drop it in the comments, or like I said, just send me a message. But for now, go out and be that AI leader in your organization, and let's help raise those percentage points from like, I'm here in the United States, so let's try to take it from 7% to at least 30%, but like 7% of people. That was a shocker to me. Anyways, go be that AI leader, because clearly the data is telling us the world needs you.